Welcome back. This is Mike again from Modelmakers Inc. in Rockaway, New Jersey. We're going to follow up on our last segment of acrylic cutting. Now we're going to take this piece that we cut and put a little bit of sanded finish on it, and then we're going to go to the buffer and go to a full polish. There's a piece of 1.5" acrylic showing the saw cut. This is right off the saw. Again, you can see the nice finish we get from our good saw blades. And this is the same material after it's been wet sanded and buffed all the way around to turn it into this decorative display cube. So what we've got here is 400 grit wet dry sandpaper, and we're going to just dip that in a little bit of water and give a swipe on here to wet the surface, dip it again, and then I'm going to work this edge. What I'm doing is I'm sanding off the minimal saw marks that are left behind, because you can't really go straight from the saw to the buffer and get a good result. So the sanding step in between is necessary. Periodically, you're going to just dip the paper. What the water does is it carries away the particles that you're sanding off and helps the sandpaper cut more efficiently. And the paper doesn't clog. If you were to use this dry, the paper would clog up with acrylic and turn white. So I'm applying moderate pressure at first. And what I'll do, periodically, I'm going to just wipe it dry, and I'm going to have a quick look at the surface to see if I can still detect any of the circular marks left behind from the saw blade, and that looks pretty good. I've got a little spot right down here that I'm going to work on some more. I'll have another quick look at it. So you can see the difference in the edge finish already. It's really nice and smooth, and that's ready to go to the buffer. So what we've got here is 2 cotton buffing wheels, and they're the exact same wheel, so we just use a different rouge on the 2 wheels. This is called red rouge. It's a little bit, has a wax base and has some abrasive compound in it. And this is white rouge we'll use for the final finish. So we get the buffer going, put a little red rouge on there. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to hit this top corner. So we're going to buff from here up, and then we're going to turn it around. The buffing wheel can grab that corner and potentially pull the part out of your hand. So that's why we're stopping short. So you can see how we're turning the part around. We're not dwelling in one spot too long because the rouge is abrasive, which creates friction, and friction creates heat, which can melt the acrylic if you stay in one spot. So that's why you always keep it moving. We'll move over to the white rouge. And there is your nice polished finish on the edge of a piece of 3/4 inch clear acrylic.